Okay, it's time to welcome my guests on this month's show. It's Industry Standard.
Hello.
Yay. It's Gabby, the front woman,
That's
and
me.
Tim, the drummer.
Hello.
That's it.
How are you guys?
Yeah, good. Thanks for
really
having
good,
us.
thanks.
Pleasure. Thanks for coming in. Obviously, you guys were a band that last year just every single played it, kept them coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Consistently throughout the year, and I wanted to kind of kick off this year's show with you as like one of my ones to watch, band I'm excited about. Tell me how you guys. Did you have a restful period in between, because you did loads of shows towards the end of last year? So
Yeah.
are you kind of ready to get back into the year? How's things been?
We almost got started last night, but not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, last year for us, our plan was to just play as many gigs as possible, just get really tight together and release loads of singles. And we did it, so sorted. Very, very proud of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, playing a gig a month, by December, I think we're all pretty fucking fatigued. So
Yeah.
December, nice and slow, straight back in it.
Yeah.
Back into the rehearsal space yesterday. Well, at least we tried.
We've had a nice time off though.
Yeah, we had a nice time.
Ollie's been
off.
in Australia for about a month, so
Yeah.
he only just got back, so...
Yeah, Pip's broken edge, but he's back on the horse now, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're good, yeah.
So now ready to hit the ground running, in
Yeah.
2025. So let's talk a little bit about the origin story. I love that. The origin story of Industry Standard.
Right.
How did it all come together? How did you guys come to be?
Well, I moved back from Berlin, and I had this Proustian moment of like, girl, if you want to do something, do it now, because it's not going to be cute when you're 60 and you got sciatica.
Yeah.
So just got in touch with Pip. Pip was like, straight away, just like, yes, let's do this. He's like been so supportive from the beginning. And then we moved in together, and we needed a new housemate. And so Tim came for the
It just
interview.
worked so well.
Yeah.
And we were like, we need a drummer. Our drummer's just pulled, so you can live here under the condition that you're in our band.
Amazing.
And
It
it,
was- yeah.
worked out.
It was a bit risky because I moved in before we had any sort of like practice or like jam
Yeah.
session. So I moved in, and it was like, okay, let's get in the studio and let's play.
Yeah.
So thankfully it went well, but
Yeah.
it could have been pretty bad if it had gone really bad.
Yeah.
That's a proper commitment as
No,
well. It's like, I'm
exactly.
taking on
Yeah.
a flat,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
taking on new friends, and I'm going to be in a band.
Yeah.
You went in, Tim.
I did, I gave follow. But no, it was
was.
great. We hit it off.
Well,
both
he's
as
still
people
here,
and-
so.
No, I'm still here.
Yeah. And this
Yeah.
is like, what, 4 years? How long ago? How long
Yeah, well,
have
this
you
is
guys
just
been?
before
Yeah.
COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that
we started
started.
full blown going for it just before COVID, and then obviously we got kicked in the face, so we didn't do anything for a while, just because like playing live videos to an empty room is just like not really the energy. We're a live band.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, it feels like we want to be there with people in the trenches. So I guess we went full steam ahead after that, and that's
And then
where we're
Ollie
at now.
joined full time
Ollie joined
on
full
bass,
time.
which really like that kind of cemented
Yeah.
us as a foursome, and
Yeah.
it's been pretty much full steam ahead since then,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, Ollie joining the band was like really, I feel like it was like the missing link and just like the energy that we needed. So it just feels like it's like catalyzed now.
Yeah. And Gabby, you're from Miami,
Yes, sort of.
sort of.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about, because you grew up, you've been living in London for years, and then you said you lived
Yeah.
in Berlin.
I've been in London longer than I was in Miami at this rate.
Yeah.
I got raised in Miami. It's a really interesting place, and I love it, and I love my culture, and it'll always be a part of me. But to be honest, like I didn't feel like I could become the person that I wanted to be there. As Bill Hicks says, everybody there is tan with white teeth. I'm white with tan teeth. Is that the one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt like a bit of a black sheep there, and then I came to London, and I just felt immediately accepted, found my people, and just feel like this environment, this grueling, toxic environment, has really given me the opportunity to flourish as an individual. So,
Amazing.
here we are.
Yeah.
I think everyone kind of has that calling to London in a sense,
Yeah,
trying to find themselves amongst infinite chaos.
definitely. And especially if you're a musician as well, like finding your people is such a big part of that, right? It's like really important, and finding a scene. And
100.
yeah. So you were doing that, and then were you in other bands before you started Industry Sounders?
Nope.
No.
No,
I was
No.
not for a long time anyway. I was
bedroom with a
many
hairbrush,
years ago.
singing to myself, girl.
Yeah.
Took
No.
me a really long time to work up the guts to do this.
It's why the timing was really nice for me as well, because like I hadn't done anything musically in a long time, and I'd messed around with friends a little bit, just not nothing particularly serious. So really, it was when meeting these guys that my kind of passion and desire to get back into a band and get a bit more involved kind of kicked in. So it all sort of kind of came together at the same time, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all the boys, they've all been in many music projects before. Like Tim, you were in something when we met, wasn't it? Those guys were great.
Yeah, that was just with some friends.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's been interesting because like obviously I'm coming from it from like a really childish perspective. Like I don't know the formula, I don't know how it works, and then the boys are just kind of like guiding me along the way a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think I'm guiding them too, being like, it doesn't matter, there's no rules, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
100%,
So
Yeah.
it's a good mix, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you just, I mean, in anything, you're kind of like finding your way through it and understanding, like, like the context of the time comes into it, and like people you know, and I don't know, just like place, like getting gigs at different venues. It all just builds and builds and builds, doesn't it, really? And no one really knows what the fuck they're doing, is what I'm trying to say.
No, I mean, yeah, but it feels right.
Yeah.
It's also very different being in a band in your early 20s, in your late 2000s, to being in a band in your late 30s.
Oh, yeah.
Nearly 40s.
Shout out to the late 30s.
We are an elder millennial band. I'm proud of it.
Yeah. So it's definitely navigating it in a very different way, I think.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about some of the singles, because we've had, Ditched Out is the most recent single, and we're going to play that in a minute. But yeah, tell me a little bit about the evolution of the singles over this last year. Is there anything that you, like, what was it like writing them and getting them together?
Right. Well, I mean, I guess once we finally found our voice as a band, it became pretty easy. Like, the stuff just started flowing. Like, it doesn't really take us that long to write music. I think we're always quite surprised. We're like, well, let's write some music. And then in 2 practices, we've got a song.
Yeah. I think we're quite cutthroat with our writing, I think.
Yeah.
We're, again, maybe it's an age thing. When I was younger, I think you'd be in a band and you'd really like a bit of a song and you just hash it out, try and make it work. Because
you're so attached to it, you know, but...
I think now we're just like, if it's gone 2 practices and we haven't got anywhere with it, then we just move on and do something else.
Just like dating. Yeah. 2 dates and you're done.
Bin it off.
Yeah. But that's worked pretty well for us so far. Yeah. And it's enabled us to like get a kind of a nice selection of songs that all kind of work together but are slightly different as well, and kind of, I think each single has sort of flown quite nicely, I feel, from one to the next.
I think so too. And that's it.
But we recorded them all at the same time, all in the same session, so we went in not last December, the December before, just recorded everything in one session, and then instead of doing an EP and just kind of chucking it all out there in one go, we sort of made the decision that we would just kind of drip feed it out throughout the year.
Yeah.
I mean, the attention span of this current zeitgeist is pretty short. So.
Yeah, but also just to like build it up a little bit and have, And
it's enabled us to do like single launch shows kind of throughout the year, and we've been able to do some bigger headline stuff because of that. Whereas I think if we just put like an EP out with like 3 or 4 songs on it, you kind of lose the chance to do that, I think.
Yeah.
I'd say the way that we record is quite similar to the way we write music. It's like, we went in 2 days and recorded like 8 tracks. Like, we like to keep it live. We're not hammering things over and over and over again. It's like, usually we do 2 cuts and the first one's always the one.
Yeah.
And I think that really reflects in the recording of our music. Like, I do think it's important to keep the conviction, to not like produce the shit out of the song to the point that like the soul's gone.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's kind of like how we like to stick to it with our live shows and our recordings and the way we write.
Yeah, and keep the energy of the original kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's often the way if you do anything like voiceover or whatever, you'll do loads of takes. I'm sure it's probably similar in acting and stuff. Like, you do a few takes and then it's always like the first or second is the money shot, is the one. So Ditched Out we got towards the end of last year. An absolute banger. Love it. Tell me about it and then we'll give it a spin.
Well, I mean, like all good industry
Really good,
standard songs, at face value, they sound like a giant joke. And that's because, at least lyrically, I like to use myself as the self-deprecating example of the experience.
Yeah.
But for me, Ditched Out, upon closer inspection, is about like not letting your triggers rule you. Because like it's basically about somebody like pressing the self-destruct button the second that something goes wrong, like, I'm going to need an intervention because I'm thriving off the tension. It's kind of like you're so stuck in that way of self-soothing, you know, spending all your money, going out, getting fucking wasted, shagging the wrong people. And I think the biggest gift that you can give yourself and society as a whole is to like catch those triggers and heal yourself so that you don't continue this repetitive cycle for the rest of your life. And that's what the song's about for me, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we just stuck some cowbells and shit on top of it.
Yeah. And then,
Because why not?
and then, yeah, quoted Tom Waits.
Bish bash bosh. What
Yeah.
more could you want?
It's 100. Yeah.
Heavenly mix. I actually really love in your like press bit, you like self-professed wonky tonk swamp pop.
Yeah.
Genius.
I mean, it feels accurate.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love a really great description because, you know, people always like, oh, it's this, that, this genre as well.
Yeah, I hate that. It's
That's
impossible to describe your own
perfect.
music without sounding like a complete wank.
Yeah.
But also, I think we find it difficult to put ourselves into a genre.
Yeah.
Like, we have a community, but I think it's other people that are doing kind of off-kilter shit also. It's not really a genre. So I think, like, our intention with that was to be like, let's just make our own genre, wonky tonk.
Yeah.
Without the ketamine, I suppose, because we're adults now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play it. So this is Ditched Out, industry standard. I'll be
Wicked.
chatting more with Gabby and Tim after. So there we go, Ditched Out, industry standards.
That's the one.
The beautiful sound
What a tune.
of wonky,
We do say so
tonk,
ourselves.
swamp pop. I always say it. The speakers in here are so sick.
Yeah,
like
that
it's
sounds
like
sick.
Yeah.
quite often my guests will be like,
Whoa.
that's kind of sound quite good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it sounds amazing. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of the shows last year.
let's do it.
I came to quite a few of them. A particular favourite, the Moth Club headliner.
Yeah, I think for us
I
as
think that was
well.
probably our favourite.
So good.
Yeah.
Maybe if you guys can talk a little bit about the evolution of the show, because obviously for people that haven't come across industry standard, Gabby, I mean, you do so much cool shit. You always look amazing. There's always like these incredible latex outfits and like pen on you, drawings,
She's handy.
arty stuff, props.
Yeah.
But it really kind of captivates firstly like the audience, but also like plays into the track. So yeah, tell me a little bit about that evolution.
Well, I mean, seeing as that I'm not a practical musician, I think that at the beginning I felt like I needed to overcompensate because I didn't want to just be a female frontwoman looking pretty. You know? So I was like, I need to make it fully immersive. But then after a while, I realized I wasn't overcompensating, that this was actually just me, you know, and that I was allowed to do that. I was allowed to take up space. So I was like, how can I make this more immersive? I know. I'll have cues. I'll have dance moves. I'll make props. I'll, scare the shit out of the audience by getting incredibly close to their faces, which personal space is obviously something I'm not good at. And yeah, it just kind of went from there. And I think it went from me feeling like I was showing off to being like quite proud of it actually, and really embracing that is like a facet of myself.
Yeah.
And you know, I make all my costumes, which is great. I work for a latex company called Lady Lucy, and she just lets me go fucking wild. And I'm really grateful for that, because I feel like if I couldn't do that, I'd just be like rummaging through the bins as usual and gluing shit together. But
You did some amazing angel wings at one show, I remember. It was
Yeah.
at Paper Dress Vintage, and it was, oh my God, they looked incredible.
those were made out of the box our Hoover came in, and just like toilet tissue and random pieces of scrap that I could find throughout the house. So I was like actually quite happy with how those turned
It's
out.
always
Yeah.
quite nice. You always do the props, but then you allow them to be taken away by specific audience members.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because it does make it specific to that particular show.
Totally.
You're not clinging on to like, I need that back, I need that back.
Like we
Yeah.
did that Easter gig where I had those bunny ears on, and then I had these little foam eggs, and I kept taking them out of my underpants and throwing them at people's. Do you remember that? I do. And
How could I forget?
and the next day I threw the ears into the audience, and the next day I was just got on Instagram stories just the entire journey of where these ears had gone throughout the night, because somebody had picked them up, and it's just like just them out drunk, and they were on like 5 different people, and it
I
felt
love
really
that.
good to know that, like, you know,
Yeah.
that's like created a whole history for somebody.
Yeah, totally. Because it's so exciting, isn't it? If you like catch the plectrum or the drumstick or the whatever it is, like
you've been chosen.
But this is even more extra.
The sweaty bunny eggs.
Yeah, the sweaty foam underwear eggs. Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, loads of really great shows last year. What other ones? There was one at the Victoria, wasn't there? You've basically just been gigging hardcore over London the last 12 months.
Yeah, we play a lot of gigs. I can't even remember where they all are. They're all mostly east though.
Yeah, I mean,
Has it been fairly grueling? Obviously, I know, I talked about this a little bit with Ben from Warmduscher last month, but it's tough out there for bands.
Yeah.
Like the fees are crap.
All of that.
All of it. Like
all of that. It's a labour of love, 100%.
Labour of love and so much effort from all of you to come together and make it what it is. So yeah, how's that been? Well,
I mean, we all work proper day jobs. I've got 3 jobs.
I think as well we tried to choose specific promoters to work with and stuff who we've worked with before, or I think that kind of helps once you build up relationships with kind of people who promote stuff because they really care about it,
and they want to be there for the inception,
because it only takes doing one gig with someone to work out how much are you actually into this, as in being the promoter, and
if they're there for the love rather than just
totally
you can just sort it out. But it's a strange one because it's always I always feel like being a promoter is a tough gig if you're not really into it.
It's high risk.
It's not it's not a quick and easy access to money kind of thing. But,
no, maybe back in the day, but not anymore. I don't think.
But coming back to it being grueling, it's physically exhausting, especially because we're at the stage now where we're kind of doing everything ourselves. So it's not just writing the music or the costumes or the props or promoting the gig. It's every single little social media post and every email, and it's exhausting and it's hard to organize, especially when you want to have a social life and be an independent person. You want to do your band. You've also got a job. But by the same token, and I hate that saying, sorry, it's also not grueling, because if you really believe in what you're doing, it's kind of just you feel blessed that you're able to do that despite it being difficult, And
then we put on a gig like the Moth Club gig, and we worked really hard.
We worked so hard on that.
But promoting that and just really kind of with the single coming out and stuff, we really wanted that to be a good show. And then we found out that people weren't able to get in because they didn't have the right dice ticket
the ticket thing sold out.
So they were actually stopping people coming in and stuff. So I guess once you kind of hear that that's happening, you're like, okay.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. It just kind of validates that you're doing it right, I guess. Yeah.
And as a fan of your music and a pal, it was so good to see, because it was full to the front to the back.
It really was, yeah.
It's a magical
way
little
beyond
venue.
anything that we expected.
Yeah, there was so much love in the room that night as well.
Yeah.
There's familiar faces, there's people I had never seen before.
People were buying the t-shirts.
Yeah, people love buying the t-shirts.
Yeah.
Because they get to talk to me all sweaty in my latex. Yeah.
And there's a great video recording of the whole thing as well.
Yeah, so our friend Ben Garnett he's done a couple videos for us now. Yeah. And I don't know, I've worked with a couple people on music videos, and it's never been this easy before. It's kind of he just fucking gets it straight away. So I'd like to continue that relationship with him. I like to call him our Spike Jones. I don't know if he I think he finds that embarrassing, but it's true.
Yeah.
And so he came and filmed the Moth Club show for us, and then ended up using it as the footage for our last single music video. Yeah. What was that called? Because we released another single after Ditched Out, didn't we?
No.
Didn't we release a single at Victoria last month? Was it meant to be a single release, or was it just a gig?
I can't remember.
It's been a lot. No, it's been a lot of stuff, man. I can't remember it all.
That was the last song.
I feel like that was maybe that was the one.
Ditched Out had the Victoria, the Moth Club footage as the video.
That's right.
That was Ditched Out.
That's right.
Yeah. So you can go check it out.
Yeah. So as far as being a grueling year, I guess it has been, because we don't remember half of the shit that we've done anymore.
The last single we put.
But also, we should talk about. I mentioned Warmduscher. We should talk about, because you supported them at the 100 Club, which is really great.
Well, I think that was our favorite gig before the Moth Club gig. Yeah, because it was just friends and family, high energy. Obviously, we're in the 100 Club, which is just a dream, even if it's just a support. It was wicked.
Yeah.
And Clams has always been a big supporter. Like, he's like my musical daddy.
Yeah.
And it just feels good to know that you got people that believe in you and trust you to support, you know, an important show for them like that. So it was cool.
Sure. And then they asked you back, Gabby, didn't they, to dance around in their video.
Oh, yeah.
For Pure of the Heart. You
Yeah.
look incredible. Oh my God.
That was...
It's amazing.
They really flung that shit on me because I thought I was just going to be like an extra dancing in the background. And then the director got in touch with me the night before and was like, you need to choreograph dance. You're going to be the main character. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And I was like, wait a second. Who told you that I'm a professional dancer? Because I was making everything up on the fucking spot.
Really?
Yeah.
It was giving main character energy and in the best way.
Well, I mean, it's a flight or fight, isn't it?
No,
Like,
you look amazing. The video is so cool. Like,
yeah, that was a really cool video. And it was a
Good
really
job.
fun day. Yeah.
Good job on that. It was really good.
Thank you.
Okay, let's play another track. So I really love this single. This was Blair.
Ooh.
This is the one where the old telephone set comes in.
Yeah.
And the little baby doll dress.
Yes.
If you haven't
Speaking
seen
about
Gabby Live.
immersive characters.
Yeah, and also a super fun video for this.
Which Ben also made for us on a green screen.
Yeah.
In my living
that's
room.
crazy.
Yeah.
He turned that around in like 48 hours
yeah.
or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is actually insane.
He's a wizard.
He's actually a wizard.
How did this one come to be?
Well, I mean, we wanted Blair to be big. And I don't think we knew how big it was going to be, like big sounding.
Yeah.
Because when I talk about like full immersion, like during the post-production of that.
Yeah, the mixing, yeah.
The mixing, Tim went in with the sound effects. So Blair's essentially about a teenage girl who's very vacuous and minding her own business, and then suddenly an apocalypse just comes and hits her in the fucking face. And, you know, it's like her experience about, you know, she gets progressively more and more freaked out. She's screaming, shit's flying. And then, so you put the sound effects in there, like dogs barking, like tornadoes coming down,
Cars
things
falling out
crashing,
the sky,
like a satellite falling out of the sky, and it all goes in conjunction with the lyrics. And
Yeah.
like when you sent me the first mix of that and I heard it, I was like, fuck, this is so big. Like, and you did a really good job because I can't believe we got all of those things in there, but still managed to make it like sound
It's
clear.
It's just it's pure chaos. That
It's
song.
pure chaos.
From start to finish.
But I mean, it really goes with the feeling of the song.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm really proud of that one.
Yeah.
And then we got the phone mic, which we got made, which is basically just a phone I bought off eBay from the 80s, and we got a mic put into it and got an XLR put into it, and now, you know, I'm like picking up the phone and talking into my phone mic, and people love it because they love a gimmick.
It's the
Yeah.
sound engineer's worst nightmare.
Worst nightmare because it feeds back. Yeah, it's just a shitty piece of
it's just-
plastic. Like, but it feeds back so much, and every time I plug it in, they're like, "Oh, this is gonna be a doozy."
How
Yeah.
many songs are you gonna use?
No, just one. Oh, okay, good.
Few. Yeah, they
Yeah.
wipe their brow.
Yeah. But yeah, love it. Love this song.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I love this song.
it's about an impending apocalypse. You know what it's really about? It's about get your shit together, people. The walls are closing in front of you. What are you doing about it? Who are you gonna be?
Oh my god, he eyeballing.
Who are you gonna be when the apocalypse comes? Because it's at your doorstep right now.
Yeah, it kind of actually is.
Yeah.
I think everyone's feeling a little bit like, is this the end of days?
Oh, I'm laughing, but I'm serious.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it because it's rad. This is Industry Standard and Blair. Who did that?
That's Tim at the end. Yeah.
What's that?
Put it on your best American accent.
Any any film inspo for that role?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a pretty last minute thing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, should probably be a man's voice.
Yeah, I usually
You
do all the
origi-
parts
you originally did
myself,
it.
but
Yeah, no, I love it. It's
Yeah.
a great way to
Needed a
end it.
different character at the end.
Yeah.
which is kind of funny because it's like she's been shouting down the phone the whole time
Yeah.
to this person that she thinks it is, and it turns out it's just some random dude.
Yeah.
Like, wrong number.
So good. So what is in the pipeline then this year? Obviously, I want everyone to get to know your music. And are you writing more stuff? Is there more EP, more album? What's the deal?
Yeah, so we are we're trying to decide that right now
Yeah.
because we're aiming for an album, so we've just been writing as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to tour. We want to play outside of London. We are signing with an EU booking agent today who's also going to handle some stuff in the UK. So hopefully we'll get some better gigs.
Awesome.
Take a load off of us as well.
Yeah.
Francesco at Annibali, fucking legend.
Yeah.
There's some talks about releasing a 45 with Charlie Wyatt from Predeceased. He runs Easy Records, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
And so we're not really sure if it's going to be an EP or if it's going to be an album, but like big shit's getting released this year.
Yeah. We're just going to keep writing and just get a nice new body of work, really, I think.
Yeah.
That's sort of what we need now.
And have you started demoing, or are you not there yet?
We haven't, but we've got a big chunk of songs to play with, and and like a lot, our sound's changing as well, which is really cool because it feels like it's like this is really us now. So I'd be excited to get that.
Yeah,
out.
I think like from recording the singles the year before last, we've written quite a lot of new stuff, and we're kind of liking where that's going. So I think the next step is to just keep writing more stuff.
Yeah.
With this sort of mindset of like, not rushing it, but eventually kind of, which of these songs really work together that we could potentially put together and go into the studio and record an album.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, really. It's really...
Also, like, nobody's asked for this album, so we can take as long as we want on it.
Totally. Yeah.
First album magic.
Yeah.
I think some gigs outside of London is quite a bit of a priority this year because we haven't done any.
No.
Which kind of feels a bit wild.
Which is kind of crazy that our gigs have been as busy as they have been, seeing as that we have never played outside of London before. Yeah. They're coming to us, baby. Yeah. No. We really need to get our shit together and get out of town.
Yeah.
Just because first of all, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And it's good for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good for you to live off gas station sandwiches for 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Touring in like a really rundown van.
Yeah, who's shitting in a bag today? Let's do it.
No, we'll be doing the old people touring. It's not going to be the early 20s touring. It's going to be like we're going to need comfort. We're going to need to come home and go.
It's not going to be a tour of Great Britain. It's going to be GB geriatric bonding.
Oh my god, that's
we're not
amazing.
that old.
You're not that old. Come on, babes. We're not that old yet. No. Got to, yeah.
No, we're not.
No. Yeah. Just no. But so that'll be really exciting. So yeah, new music. That's going to be you're going to be working on that, and then it sounds like you've got loads of great stuff in the pipeline.
Got a gig next week.
Yes, that's what we need to talk about.
That's true. We are headlining Paper Dress with Some Weird Sin. Yeah. On the 24th.
Of January.
Of Jan. Yeah. And it's a Friday.
It's a Friday night.
No excuses. Be there. Duh.
Yeah, London crew,
It'll be fun.
Down.
I'll try not to chuck anything into the audience that could potentially blind you this time. Because last time we played Paper Dress, I asked for a whiskey and I chucked the ice into the audience, and I could see my friend Gav standing there, and the ice just went directly into his fucking eye, and he kind of flinched and got really angry, and then kind of was like, no, it's okay, it's Gabby. But yeah, fuck, man, I gotta stop chucking things into the audience. Gotta stop chucking things into the audience and calling them motherfuckers to their face.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
just
good.
As a general.
New Year's resolution.
Just generally in life.
Yeah.
Okay, so very exciting, and we're gonna finish with Porn.
Hey.
So you've got a minute. Tell me any stories of this one. This is another of my favourites of yours, I think.
Thank you. Well, this is one of our earlier ones.
This has been in the set for quite a while now.
Yeah. Well, for me, anyways, it's about consumption capitalism. It's trying to fill the void inside of you with external things, products, people. There's no way that you can satiate an unfillable hole if it's not filled from within. So that's essentially what the song's about. Again, hidden over a layer of comedy value. Yeah. Even in the last verse, which people love, which is me basically berating all the fucking upskirt photographers, I am kind of saying the same thing. It's kind of like you're idolizing these people to fill something inside of you, and you need to take a step back. And
I quite like how your delivery is very much like an infomercial, or it's got a very that sort of false advertising kind of vibe to it.
Totally.
Sometimes live you used to do a bit of a thing where you kind of read off pretend small print. You've sometimes done that, which is always quite funny as well.
Yeah.
So it's a banger.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to play it. So, Gabby and Tim from Industry Standard, thank you so much for coming in.
You're very welcome.
Loved having you here.
So welcome.
And long may it continue. We'll be, carrying on supporting throughout the year and keep us posted with new tracks.
Sure.
Wicked. Free Palestine.
Yeah. So we'll finish with this. This is Industry Standard. Get to know their band.
Yes.
And the show later.
Thank you.
In London.
Yeah.
Get down. Okay, this is it. Pawn. And I'll be back in 4 weeks' time. Thanks for listening to the show today.